Okie dokie. Where's the button that makes stuff work? Oh, that's different. Oh, I got a picture. All right. Welcome everyone. Streaming stuff, normal things. You know the drill by now. It's Friday, February 3rd, 2017, and we're starting the stream just a wee bit early today because I have to end it a wee bit early. Apparently, I have a meeting or something. I'll have to figure out. Yeah. Okay. Cool. Everything's running. Just making sure. Last time we ended, someone had a request for a having an issue with third-person, first-person camera and stuff like that, Alucard, and I told him I would work on something. I actually did something yesterday because I was bored, so I've got an example ready for him to go. So if he happens to pop up, we'll go ahead and run through that example. If not, I'm still going to go through the 4.15 stuff. That's basically what I'm working on right now in preparation for 4.15 release in 2 weeks. I just have to actually remember where I put. Oh, here we go. Experiment 4.15. So other than that, everyone, good day to everybody. Stuff like normal still applies. Feel free to ask questions. I'll try to help out as best as I can. Comments, stuff like that. Hopefully everyone's having a good day before the end of the weekend. Start of the weekend. Unless you're somewhere where the weekend started, then good. Hats off to you. Let me see what we were working on. I have some. Okay, so I need to start notating some of these. Things like this require an actual example, and they're bolded because I've done them. Things like these aren't examples. These are more of a show type thing is what it's going to be. So I need to start notifying this because stuff like having the input-output nodes being visually different is not something I need an example project for. So these are just show and tell type things. And these are example type things. Okay. So we'll do that. These ones are going to need an example. I have a feeling tags and tasks are going to take a while. Those are very complex. Show. Let's see. Weight blending. Shoot. Probably an example, but I don't even know if I can do that. This one will need an example. This one I might work on today, actually. Content reloading will need an example. HDR output is just a show. Tone mapper is just a show. Preview is a show. Raw input, I doubt I can do it, but that would be a show. Support is a show. Force feedback is a show. Material fast nodes are a show. Previous frame switch. See if I can steal their example. So we'll do an example for that one because that is a node technically. Example. Secret payloads need example. I did see something in chat. I'm just going to finish these up. Example. I have no clue what that one is. I'll have to remember. Show. That one I'm probably not going to do. Can't really do that one, so that's more of a show and show. Okay. Let's see. The only way I found to loop an external function is putting the function inside another function and use the node start timer by function name. Is this correct? And hello, Stefan and Fernando and Rodrigo. What do you mean by looping an external function? That's based. Whoa, this thing. Whoa, I have a giant blank space right here. That is so weird. Oh, look at that. I have a giant blank space. Let's see if we can get that. Nope. Okay, well, I guess I'm gonna have a giant blank space. Yeah, what do you mean exactly in terms of looping an external function? Oh, function library? Yeah, pretty much that's the only way you can do it. What you're talking about. Or what you are talking about is pretty much the only way you can do it, yes. That's what I meant to say. I was failing miserably at. I think I'm going to try this one. and see how much fun we can have on that right now. Let me close down my master branch. I was looking through that earlier. There's a lot of nifty stuff coming in 4.16, it looks like. What? Seriously? I'm completely confused. Actor sequence plugin. The brain is failing today. Actor sequence plugin. Okay, now this should not work right now. Awesome, Stefan. Hopefully you learn stuff and we go from there. Okay, so okay, cool. So that should not work because it should be an experimental, it should be a plugin from what I was reading. So now we need to figure out where it's at. Oh, we can search. Oh, there we go, actor sequence. It was right there, what do you know? And I have to restart, so let's restart the editor. There we go. And then we'll go to the component. I'm going to close the playground. Now I'm going to keep the playground open just to make sure I remember to do it for a la carte, so at least it's in the video form. Okay, we'll open this one back up. Boom, 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 boom. Let's close down. We don't need plugins or editor preferences or project settings. Okay. So now we should have a new plugin. It's actor sequence. There we go. Cool. I don't actually know how to use it yet, but that's what we're going to figure out. Sequencer. Okay, so it gives me a new window inside of here. Cool. We probably need a new... Let's see. I don't know, let's figure out how we do it. Let's see. What options do we have? Oh, okay, so this is the sequence. So you can probably have multiple sequences. For anyone that's wondering, this is basically a way to kind of like make a more adjustable timeline system inside of Blueprints, and probably a better animation system than in the widget blueprint. I'm wondering if it works in widget blueprints. I would assume no, because you can't add components to widget blueprints, right? Yeah, there should be no way to add a sequence or anything in here. Okay, just making sure. Okay, so what would be a smart way of doing this? Let's grab our plugin. Let's give ourselves a cube. Let's do something really simple, like just simply rotating this. Can I please? Oh man, that's not what I meant to do. There we go. That's what I was trying to do. Give myself a new route. Okay. Let's grab this and slap it in the scene like that. Let's grab our plugin. Okay, so we have our cube. It's technically our owner. Let's see. This lets me attach to anything in the scene, it looks like. Interesting. Okay, so there's our cube. Let's add a new transform track. Let's see, let's start this at 0. Let's keyframe the current rotation. Let's go to 2 seconds. Let's keyframe the rotation. Let's change the value. Let's go with like 90 on the Y, like that. There we go, so it should rotate it. Okay, well that's super duper easy. And let's see about just simply doing that on begin play. So let's grab our actor sequence and play it. Get sequence player obvious. Oh, do we have to do that? Let's see, actor sequence, sequence player. Okay. Let's see. Well, that was super simple. That was really cool. Oh, okay. Well, that's cool. Hello, Alucard. I've got that example for you. Let me play a little bit more with this actor sequence plugin, and then we'll do that. But that is really cool. So this is a really simple way by using the sequencer plugin inside of... Yeah, I wonder, do we have the ability to loop actor sequences? Let's find out. Auto replay, random start. Oh, here we go, loop. Loop indefinitely. Ooh, does loop exactly give me? Yeah, okay. So loop indefinitely. Let's set it. Ooh. So before, technically, you would need to do something like on a lerp or a timeline to rotate an item completely. But if we were to do, what is that, rotation? 359, or is it going to be negative 80? I wonder if it'll loop back. Let's find out. Okay, something like that. And we set the sequence to loop indefinitely on autoplay. Interesting. Okay. So it's looping properly, but it's almost like it's got an ease built into it. And I definitely didn't do that. I did it over 2 seconds. It should go from 0 to 359. Interesting. Wonder if it's because it's at 359. I don't think 360 would be acceptable, right? Especially since that's technically going to give you 2 frames at the start. No, look at that. Huh. It's almost... Oh, wait a minute. What is the length of my timeline? I mean, not my timeline, my sequence. How do you determine the length of the sequence? I assumed it was this right here, which makes sense. Let's see. Let's extend that and see what happens. Yeah, okay. So that is the length of the sequence, which is set to 2 seconds right here. Well, if we drop it down a little bit, see what happens. Nope, I'm wondering if we drop it to 1, if it even will play through the entire thing. Nope, see, it's only going to play the half. Huh. No matter what, it still has a little bit of a delay there at the end. Okay. Wonder if that's a bug or an issue. Oh, I can change the ease. Okay, cool. There's a lot of people are chatting about... Oh, I'm not reading the chat. Give me a second here. Let's see. So people are saying basically if I was to click somewhere, I'd be able to change the ease. Oh, right there. Look at that. I bet you that's what it is. Oh, I wonder if it's in here too. Constant. Aha. And then change this one probably to constant too, huh? Wait. I sure as hell didn't do anything. I wonder if it's because I set the output key as 360 instead of 359. Nope, okay. Look at that. So that... Okay, so if you set the input as constant... Huh. And in case anyone's wondering, no, I don't use sequencers. I'm effing confused at how sequencers work. Oh, I guess constant in wouldn't work, could it? Would it, huh? Linear, okay. Let's go linear and see what happens. Oh, there we go. Okay, so if I'd actually looked at this thing from this viewpoint then, in the actual graph itself, it would have made more sense. Because change this to constant, and constant, well, does it flatten it? No, see, that didn't flatten it. Okay, see, okay. Is it changing to constant in here that it causes an issue? Ooh. And hello, Harry, and hello everyone who's popped up, basically. Let's see, we've got Katatus, Alexander, Zachary, I saw Harry in there, glitch. Okay, so since everyone's shown me how to do that, before I go on though, tell me if this doesn't seem like it's a bug though. If I change this to constant, and this to constant, is it changing this one to constant? Yeah, look, these are all constant, right? And we have our flat movement. If I change this back to linear on both, and go back here, we have our angled movement like we're expecting. But if I change this to constant, it doesn't flatten out, right? Constant, constant. Am I not changing enough? Oh, maybe I'm not changing enough. No, look, yeah, see, constant. Okay, so everything should be constant, but you see this one right here didn't change. It's now nothing. Ah, it's because all three of them didn't change to constant. Okay. No, not a refresh bug. It's due to the fact that this is a single point for all three rotations when I'm doing this. And when it's in here, you actually have your rotations in different position points. Okay. No, that makes sense. No. I think we figured that out. But that's cool. So there's a really simple way. So we can use the animation then. We can use a sequencer. So we can use the sequencer inside of blueprints now. It's a really simple way to give us animation. So like before, we'd have to do something like on the tick. And we'd have to do something like, add rotation, or do this on a timeline and spin something. And now we can do this in the sequencer. That's cool. Alexander, that is a very good idea, but I would have to figure out how the anim curves work in the first place. Being honest here, as you obviously saw, there is way too many options for me to even remember how these work. Okay, cool. That's good. That shows how the sequencer works. So I can mark this down as done, and I can show that as the example for the sequencer. So I like that one. Okay, so I had a playground one, like I said. I'm going to show this one's for Alucard. Okay, so Alucard's problem, if I can pull up YouTube, which I've got to eventually at some point remember to actually start reading my comments, since I keep forgetting. Go to channel. No, that's not the go to channel button. That's the go to channel button? New. Creator Studio, there we go. Right now, Glitch, I was just simply working on new features in 4.15. Okay, so Alucard's question and problem was basically he's got a first and a third person camera system set up where the first person character, you control the rotation, and in the third person, you control the rotation around the character unless they have a weapon equipped, and then it locks it behind the player. Basically, he's comparing it to another game, which apparently I'm not smart enough to read and figure it out again. But basically, he's looking for something like this. We have a third-person camera where we can rotate around because we're not fighting or anything like that. We have the ability to toggle to first person. So you can see I can toggle back and forth. And if we equip a weapon, so like if I hit the 1 key and now says I have equipped weapon, it locks my view behind me in the third person. So that way I'm not looking around the player. I'm basically in action combat now. I stow the weapon. I have full control over my camera again. Firefall. There you go. I knew it was in here somewhere. I just couldn't find it. Now, based on what I'm showing you here, Alucard, was this what you were trying to recreate? We've got a nice free-flowing third person. We have a first person we can toggle on and off. And then if we hit the 1 key, we can lock it basically behind the player for combat, because I'm equipping a weapon. Obviously, I don't have any weapons, so you can't see it, but I'm faking it by just setting a Boolean. I think that's what you're looking for. Okay, so let's cover what we did. We did nothing in the controller. Basically, what I did was, like I suggested, my thought process was, I went into the third-person project, and a first-person project, and I just copied over the differences. And there's 3 differences: your third-person character and your first-person character. The first person has this difference in here. The character itself right here has the orient rotation to movement unchecked. That would be, oh no, character movement probably. It'd help if I knew what I was talking about. Let's see, orient. There we go. Right here. The first person character has orient rotation to movement unchecked. Third person has it checked. The camera in the first person, so this camera right here, has the use pawn control rotation different. So you can see it right here. It's checked in the first person camera, and in our third person camera it's unchecked. And then the last one, and this one's over here because this one we actually toggle, because this one makes a difference. In the character, which is going to be up here, use control rotation yaw. That is unchecked by default in the third person and checked in the first person. So basically what we did is I have the, this is kind of a little bit ugly, but it's meant just to show you the differences. But all we're doing when we toggle back and forth is we are setting certain things on and off. We're setting those important changes that I mentioned. The easiest one here is just toggling our cameras. I'm using a flip-flop because I'm lazy. You can obviously set this up however you want. You know, turn on first person, turn off third person, whatever. What matters is we have a couple things that we're toggling. We're turning on or off the appropriate camera. So in this case, I'm turning on this follow camera here. I'm making it turned on, and I'm turning off the first person camera. So when I'm toggling back and forth between third and first, it's, you know, pick one camera. One needs to be on, one needs to be off. So that's what we're doing here. Then I'm hiding the mesh if we're in first person, just because it was really annoying when I didn't do this. So if, like, for example, I set it to this and we hit T, you'll notice because my camera's set up in the head right where it's at, it's annoying. It's just one of those things. I hid the mesh. Obviously, you'll do whatever you want. This is where you would hide any mesh if you're using a third person, or you turn on things like the hands, if you have first person hands and things like that. If you go through the actual, and this is actually kind of cool, if we go through the, is it the third person one that has it, or the first person? See, now everyone's got me confused. Where'd my playground go? Okay, it's gonna be the first person. God darn it. Give me a second. I lost my stuff. Where'd it go? Okay. In the first person template, this is a good example to pull some stuff out of if you need it. Once it loads up, obviously. But the first person template character, if we look at it, actually has multiple things set up. You have a weapon, and you have a weapon with arms. And the way this is set up is because you have just the weapon if you're using VR, and the arms and the weapon if you're in first person without VR. And if you look through the actual setup here, you'll notice on the begin play, somewhere in here, wherever it's at, it'll set up, basically, if you have HMD device turned on or off, it'll disable certain actors. That's the way this is set up. Harry says, in a true FPS, you would just glue the camera to the eye bone or something. No. Yeah, good question. Not a clue. I don't know what you would define as a true FPS. Honestly, it probably just depends on feeling. Like, for example, what you're suggesting would be a possibility. I mean, we could just simply grab our mesh, add a bone to the head, put the camera on it, and I mean, if you had it set up properly, and we were not hiding our mesh, for example, in first person. Oops, that's locked. Here we go. Then you'd have the ability to see like your legs and arms and stuff like that when you're moving. But I guess it just depends on if that's what you want. You might want not have this stuff. Your first person might just simply consist of an extra rig that gets loaded up that just simply shows the arms and the gun. But it also depends, like for example, if you have it locked to the head, if we were to run this in here, if see our head bobs back and forth, that would give us a camera bob, but we may not want the camera bob. So that's kind of an issue in there as well. You're going to end up with whatever your head set up. So it's going to, basically the FPS camera rig is going to just be suited to whatever you want. Yeah, there's people are bringing up a lot of points, but yeah, weapon recoil can have an issue, weapon shake, head shake, things like that. It's all personal preference. Every game's different. There's no answer to that one. Akshay. We'll go with Akshay. I did see your question. Let me see if I can finish this up, and then we'll see if I can help you with that one. So going back to Alucard. So we have, again, this hides or unhides the appropriate camera. This hides or unhides whatever appropriate mesh is. And then in the first person view, we're setting the option to use controller rotation yaw. All we're doing when we toggle it off is the opposite. Hiding and unhiding the appropriate thing. Setting or unsetting any hidden. And then turning the controller rotation yaw to whether I have a weapon equipped. And that's kind of where our differences come in here. So using the controller rotation yaw, that is the one that basically locks the camera behind the character. And when I move it, so basically right now I'm moving my mouse. As I'm moving my controller, that option right here, the use controller rotation yaw, which is in our character right here, this is what locks the camera basically to the movement, or the character to the movement. So when your request was when you have a weapon equipped, that's when you want to turn controller rotation yaw on. If you don't have a weapon equipped, you want that disabled. And then when you're in first person, you want it enabled because you want your character, your mouse movement, to control the rotation of your character. So hopefully this basic stuff here can help out. It will be on the video, Alucard, and you can see that. I'll also go through my, this is for the toggling of the camera. You can ignore most of these wires. They're basically determining whether or not I'm flipping or flopping and whether or not things are hidden or unhidden. That's but the basics are hide and unhide the appropriate camera, hide and unhide the appropriate mesh, and then turn controller rotation yaw on if you want the mouse to rotate the character. If this is disabled, the mouse will rotate the camera. So that's your important difference right there. For the toggling of the weapon, all I'm doing with that one is locking or unlocking the controller rotation yaw. So again, if we have a weapon equipped, lock the controller rotation yaw. If I don't have a weapon equipped, unlock it. True or false. Those are your biggest things. Going through our settings in here, the character itself, by default I have it set to third person, so we have the controller rotation yaw disabled. If this is in first person by default, you enable this. So whatever your default is, first person yes, third person no. Inside your cameras, your third person, you don't want it to use the control rotation. The first person, you do want to use the control rotation. So make sure when you set up your first and your third, that's the way you set your pawn control rotation up. And then your character movement, it is, where to go? I love when I lose things. Down here we go. You want the orient rotation to movement checked. This is what you want checked on your character movement. And that will basically give you your setup for your first and third person with a toggle. Your other question was whether or not you can keep it in a if you can keep the BP blueprint simple and toggle active camera, good idea or bad idea. You can see how I'm doing it here. I would probably not use this giant mess right here. I'd use maybe just a simple check to see if we're in first or third person, so I don't have wires going everywhere. If you notice it's just the same wire going everywhere, I would have it more than likely something set up like, is this first person, is this third person? You could even use an enum and check on it. And then you could simply go, you know, set this to first person true, third person true, things like that. But that's your basics. If you still have a problem, let me know. I can see about screenshotting these and send them to you as well. Hopefully this helps, though, with a simple first and third person switch. And that should be that. Ask I'm so bad at names. I apologize for that. Where'd it go? I lost it. How the hell did I... Okay, wow, I lost that. Oh, there we go. Akshay was asking, how do you make a simple blob shadow? You probably can just simply turn shadows down to low. I think would do it automatically. If I'm incorrect, let me... I can't get out of my stupid... I'm in here with the stupid sequencer camera, which is annoying. But can't we just turn shadows down to low in order to get that effect? Let's see. I don't know if you can do it on here directly. It would be nice if you could do it on here directly, though. It doesn't look like we can do it on the character. I know how to do it in the settings. I just don't want to do that. I'm trying to see if we can do it on the character or the light is what I'm trying to see if we can do it. Where's my shadows? Let's see, cast shadows. No, it doesn't look like we can do it on the light caster or on the other one. But if we did it in our settings for the scalability for shadows and set it to low, it should... Well, maybe it's not low. One of these should set it to blob shadows, doesn't it? No, huh? Okay, we do not have blob shadows by default. I could swear we did. Well, that's highly annoying. Okay, yeah, then you're basically looking at faking blob shadows. I would say decal or complex material is basically what it is. That's what I was going to suggest. I could swear... Let's see. Hold on a second. Let's check... what is it? Quality settings. Let's see if there's a quality setting that'll turn on blob shadows. But I was going to say a decal is probably the easiest way of doing it, which would be slightly annoying. Well, not slightly annoying, just... yeah, it's probably your best way of doing it, unfortunately. But I'm trying to see if there's... Let's see, shadow quality. I could swear we had blob shadows. Let's see. Shadow quality 0. Let's see. Let's see. Hold on a second. 0 disables them. 1, yeah, no. So we're still going to end up with... Yeah, so that's not going to work. We have our distance scale. I'm looking through all the shadow quality options right now. Radius threshold, max resolution, cascaded shadows, shadow quality, light function. Okay, so it doesn't look like you can do it, unfortunately. I was hoping there was a way to get simple, fast blob shadows out of the existing shadow rendering system. Unfortunately, it does not. So, yep. So yeah, unfortunately, Akshay, you're gonna have to basically work on using it in a material or a decal would be the easiest way of doing it. There is a documentation on how to do it from the in Unreal Engine 3, creating simple blob shadows, and that should simply work on here for a decal material. I wonder if I can... Yeah, I'm reading through the the code right now. Okay, let's see if we can do that, shall we? Where did my playground go? I'm pretty sure I closed it, right? Let's find out. Let's see if we can do a simple yeah, let me see if we can do a simple blob shadow, recreating it from the Unreal Engine 3. Because that's a good question. It looks like it's pretty simple. But obviously we don't know because I've never done it before. Let's see. Let's copy our third-person character in. And I didn't mean to open them up, but that'll be fine. Let's see. Blob character. Let's start up a new map like this. Let's drop our blob character in here. Let's get rid of that one. I'm pretty sure I can drive our blob character. Nope, not gonna work. But we don't really need to. Give me a second. Oops. If I can stop clicking on stuff that I didn't mean to click on, this wouldn't be an issue. See, where's our third person game mode? There we go. And our character, where's our pawn? There we go. Blob pawn. There we go. Okay, cool. So that spawns in there. So, okay, so we've got this should be our default blob character. Okay, so let's see if we can add in what we wanted. So material, blob shadow. Now looking through here, and the best part about Unreal Engine 3, if no one's used it, is their graphs were the opposite direction. You started here and you worked out to the right, rather than in Unreal Engine 4, which we start from the left and we go right. So I'm going to try to duplicate this as best as I can based on the picture we have here. So it looks like we're lerping between a value and a color. It looks like this is a solid color 1, and we have a solid color of basically black with a 0001. Yeah, so a solid black. We're going to lerp. We're going to drive the alpha from our color here. If we wanted to drive the color. Okay, that's really weird, but whatever, that works, I guess. Crap, then we have a texture in here, which means I could probably do a sphere gradient. Would this one work? Would this give me what I want? Let's find out. Yeah, that should basically give what I want if I minus it. So let's flip that. Then we should get, yeah, something like that. That's just the basics of what we want right now. And then we need to feed this. Let's see. So this is feeding it into the emissive. So I need to set this up as a decal, and I'll be damned if I remember how to do that. Oh, let's go with defer decal. That'll work. Set up as emissive like that. Okay. Okay, we have an error here. Why do we have an error? Translucent. Wait. Oh, because it needs to be on translucent for the blend mode. There we go. Okay, so our opacity we'll probably set to this. Oh. That definitely looks like the, oh, what if we set the opacity for this? As you can tell, I'm a fantastic material person here. Unfortunately, they're using a texture, and I don't have the texture itself. So I'm kind of like trying to fake this. Let's see, default value, that's half the radius. So let's fit to a fixed value of 1. Definitely not giving me the result I want here. Well, okay, so let's run this through. It's running this through an ad right here to get it darker. Oops, I should probably output that then. Okay, definitely not getting the result I planned on right here. Yeah, we are progressively going into the opposite direction of what we are aiming for. Let's see. Because I mean, we want a sphere gradient. I could do a sphere mask. Would a sphere mask give me a basic result of what I'm looking for? No, because that's just going to mask things out. We don't want that. We want the sphere gradient. We want this. Oops. Bear with me while I do a node to check this. Yeah, because that's obviously giving us not what we want right there. Yeah, because this is getting us what we want. We just want this in the opposite direction, which is why I minused it. And it's definitely not giving me the smoothness I want. I'd love for the... Maybe the radius of 1 was too much of an issue. Let's see, radius of 0 gives me... I hate that bug right there. 0.75? Yeah. Really? Well, okay, so smaller radius then? 0.25? Holy Hannah Montana. We are definitely achieving the opposite of what I want here. I could probably multiply it, right? After we get our 1 minus, and then multiply this to give us a much harsher value. Let's see, what if we multiply it by 10? Okay, what if we multiply it by 0.1 then? What if we multiply it by black? What if we add black? What if we just randomly start pushing buttons? Okay, you know what, that's close enough. I literally have no idea what's going on here, but... yeah, I don't know. Okay. Let's see. Yeah, I'm still trying to Akshay. Dang, I'm never gonna get that one right. But I definitely appreciate and everyone else. Everyone else who popped up. So that's awesome. Let me the whole point of this was just to get simply a material. This will work fine for a material. The point was to get this on the actual character itself. I really don't know why I am having an issue with this. But if we grab this and we grab a decal, so where's the decals hiding at? Shouldn't they be right here? Am I crazy? Or decals a friggin' component, aren't they? Oops, I hit the folder button. In case you haven't noticed or figured it out by now, I don't use decals much. I could swear they were... No, I guess you can't add them directly into the scene. Okay. I thought you could. But I guess not. Blob shadow. Okay. Yeah, see, I don't think I'm going to be able to figure this out on my own. Because, I mean, there's... That is basically what I managed to get out of here because of my horrible material. So this is definitely not aiming for what we want. Fred. Yeah, okay, so do we have the ability to just pull a decal? Yeah, we do have the ability to pull a decal straight in as well. But still, it's probably going to give me the same thing. We need a material in here. If I put in my blob shadow, fortunately, my blob shadow sucks, so we end up getting that result right there. But that's not really going to matter, because anyways, we'd want the blob shadow. Yeah. Stupid opacity. We want the blob shadow on the character anyways, despite everything we've been trying to do. We'd still want it on here, because you need the blob shadow to be underneath the character. So something like, probably like that, and then we'd want it to ignore the player, which is one of these ones in here, right? Receives decals, there we go. So we'd have something like, you know, you have something like that. I mean, that's basically how it works right there. Obviously, if I had a better friggin' decal I was using properly. Do we have... I wonder what decals we have built into the engine. Whoops. We're looking for material. Give me a second. So we're looking for material. Let's open up the engine content. Let's see if we have anything we can actually use in here. Let's see, do we have a shadow? We have mine that I make, so that didn't help. Yeah, so that didn't help. Okay. But that's basically what you would do there, Akshay. I'm the biggest problem is I don't have a proper blob shadow in here. The biggest issue is I don't have a proper opacity plugged in. And I literally don't... Let's see. I'm obviously failing miserably at my attempt for doing this. As you can see in this massive amount of stuff. I don't know why the opacity... Yeah, that's... Okay, so this is the documentation I'm going off of, which probably would be smart. We have... This is UDK3 documentation, but it will work. If you scroll through it, I'm going to go through it quickly. Basically, it's showing how to do a blob shadow. The biggest thing that matters is going to be this right here. Oh, where'd it go? Our node graph. This is a texture that's brought in. I don't have a texture. If you have a proper texture, so in this case, it's a texture with your blob shadow clearly defined with an alpha channel set up for nothing, then you could easily use this to create your decal material. Once you have a good decal material, as you can see, I don't have a good decal material. But once you have a good decal material, then it is a simple case of doing what I did here. I have a decal component. Obviously, this is horribly, horribly oversized on my decal. So we want, you know, let's see. You know, you'd have it more appropriate to your character like this. Whoops. Actually, we could probably just set this to something like 10. Whoa. That looks like I horribly, horribly did that wrong. Yeah, why? Oh, because, whoa, everything resized itself. That's kind of cool. 50, 50, and 10. Something like this. And you put your decal at the point where you want it to show up. So roughly where the character's feet are. Like this. We probably want it maybe encapsulating the feet like that. Oops. So we're looking at something like that roughly. And then the decal itself on our mesh, we make sure that receives decal is turned off, or else the character, as you can see, is going to show the shadow. Now you might want that. If that's your goal, then that's what you want. But if not, if you just want a blob shadow on the ground, you would do something like that. So our decal basically is just going to show in here. And then the decal renderer, as you can see, is just going to render under our character, like that. So as long as you have a proper... Let's close down these ones right here. As long as you have a proper material, which I don't, because I don't have the proper knowledge. I'm a sucky material, an artistic person. And if I was smart enough to actually have the proper information here, I could probably give you a better example. But I mean, look, here's what's coming out. I'm getting this giant white thing, which is definitely not what I want. Actually, what happens if we plug in this one? See, that one's completely white. Okay, wait, so if we flip this one, shouldn't it in theory give us something that's completely black? Let's see, what happens if we do this? See, look, seriously. This is why I suck at materials. I look at this right here, and I think to myself, oh, that's perfect. It's white. I would like it to be black. A 1- node should simply flip the values. However, when I type in, you know, 1-, and we feed a 1- into it, our 1- gives me this stupid ring instead of a solid value. I actually do realize that I could probably just take this and give us the result that we want. See, no, it's friggin' white. Seriously? You know what? Now you're just annoying the hell out of me. You know what? I'm gonna figure this out because this is annoying. We need a okay, you know what? In case you didn't notice, I get frustrated when stuff doesn't work like it should. Seriously? Am I crazy here? Wait. Oh, I should be taking that and multiplying it by that, right? And that would technically give us everything black, I guess. So even then it doesn't give us the result we want, right? Yeah, see, we're still not getting the result we want. Except it's friggin' this really weird reflective solid. Oh no, let's see what happens if we play. Okay, well now we've got a square one. At least it's black this time. I don't know. Everyone who's answering questions in regards to this, you're all probably right. I should probably be doing literally whatever you're suggesting. I mean, I'm using a transparent material right now. I am doing that. Yeah. I just... Oh. Let's see, maybe base. Okay, so let's see. Hold on. James looks like he might be smart on this one, so let's see what he's saying. Let's see. Transparent material, done. Create a mask, put the black gray in the white. So I can do a sphere mask, for example. And if we do a sphere mask and unhook everything, we're going to end up with nothing because I have no friggin' values in here. So that really doesn't even help. I don't remember how to use a sphere mask. Seriously? Let's see. 0.5 and 1 because I'm just going to randomly start guessing numbers here. And that didn't work, obviously. And hello, Joviex and everyone else. Okay, so yeah, I think I'm just simply gonna stop on this one. All I'm doing at this point is literally randomly throwing stuff on the screen. All I'm trying to do is make a procedural sphere mask when the solution, I presented it already. And it looks like Akshay is saying he or she got it. So that's a good point. Okay. You're literally just watching me flail and throw nodes in here and seeing if something works, which I do and I don't have a problem doing. But when it's a day where I didn't have a ton of time, it was kind of silly. But regardless, it looks like Akshay may have gotten it, which is a good. So we're going to stop that one there. We're going to go back to... I need to check something really quickly, so give me a second. Okay, Akshay is a he. Okay. I didn't want to assume because I'm horrible with names, so I just wanted to guess on that one. I have a conference call here in about 10 minutes, so I have to work on not getting distracted anymore. Akshay says he got it, so that's good. If you don't mind sharing what you did in order to get it working, hopefully what I showed you was that final piece. But if you're willing to share what you had, feel free to take a screenshot of like your material graph and post it on YouTube after this video shows up. And I'm sure other people would definitely appreciate it. Because I definitely like that. And I had other people talking about post-process effects. Unfortunately, Glitch, I don't. As you saw there with me flailing around with materials, I'm not a material person. I wish I was a material person. I'm not. I'm not an artist. I'm not an animator. And those are things I fail at. I'm very bad at doing material effects. So I wish I could help, but I can't. Lewis, like someone mentioned though, he does stream, and he is on Twitch and YouTube. He does material effects, and he may be able to help or have something on there that will help out. Can you do an unlit decal and set it for emissive instead of the base color? That might work in terms of the shadow. I don't know how well it's gonna work, but I mean that it's unlit, so that might help in terms of the fact it's not a lit decal anymore. Okay, so we were playing with this one. I want to give... I think this was the basic example we had on this one. I think everyone was fine with that because it really wasn't very good, but it'll work. It's just a friggin' cube that rotates. And you guys helped me out by getting the cube to actually continually spin. Cool. So you guys are super helpful on that one. You know what? Okay, I've got like 10 minutes left. I'm going to actually change this from a cube that rotates and move this into more of a bobbing up and down motion, because I know I've had to use that before. So if we can turn this into a bobbing up and down, just basically translate it up and down like this, I think it'd be more useful for people. So we're going to do that is what we're going to do. So let's go ahead and delete our rotation, which you can't delete because we have transform. You know what? Let's just start over. We'll delete our transform and make a new transform track. See how simple that was? Okay, we'll set this to 0. We're going to set our location at the default value on the Z. So we'll keyframe here. I did hit the keyframe button, right? Okay, apparently I did, but it didn't do anything. Oh, wait, I need to be over here. Never mind. I don't like this view. As you saw, I just got really confused by it. So we're in here. Let's go bob up after half a second. So we will simply translate up 20. We'll keyframe here. And obviously that didn't work because it doesn't like me. How do we keyframe? It's hitting enter, right? Move it half a second. Move it to the appropriate point. Move it. Seriously, you're not going to work on me? Nope, it's going to lock it out because I'm doing this. Yep. Son of a gun. Because I'm in the animation thing, it's going to annoy the crap out of me. Yep. Okay, so drop out of animation. Son of a... Whoa. Okay. That was kind of cool. It changed to like 6,000 on the rotational value, on the Z value there. Okay. 0, half a second, up to 20. Enter should keyframe. Enter does not keyframe. There we go. And enter resets the stupid keyframe back to 0, even though it says 20. Everyone else sees it says 20, right? And everyone else sees it's actually moving, even though it's not moving. Well, that's just friggin' lovely. Okay, well, I literally have no idea why that's not working, and I don't care, because I can fix it. I can just do that, and then we'll go back over to here. We'll set this keyframe. Oops, let's add a keyframe. Set the keyframe. As you can tell, I am horrible with sequencer and graphs and all this fun stuff. I literally just flail at the keyboard until something hopefully works. Literally, you can, not figuratively, you can literally see me doing it right now. Let's set this back to 0. Okay, so that should give me the basic that I want. A little bit of a hovering animation. Now we'll go back over here and we'll set that to linear and linear. But not linear, right? If we set that back to the auto, we should get the result we want, right? No, see, it's going to end up stopping. Is it because our output needs to be linear? I mean, constant? Nope. Is it because our input needs to be constant? Which obviously is not going to give us the result we want if we saw that little graph there. Okay. Linear then. Okay, who wants to guess at why this one doesn't work? I'm not crazy here, right? We have a little bit of a delay there at the end, right? Okay, and we fixed it before by switching our tangents over to something else. But unfortunately, if we switch them to constant, I'm not going to get the smooth motion like I want. Yeah, okay, not crazy. Well, I'm not rotating anymore. I'm just literally moving it up 20, down to the middle, down 20, back to the middle. And it should, I'd assume, loop around smoothly. I have my sequence set to loop indefinitely. I have it set to autoplay. So when I run it, I would assume... Actually, I wonder if we can simulate it in here. There we go. That makes it easier. We have a delay of 1/4 of a second or so at the end. We fixed that before when it was a rotational value by setting it to constant. And if we look at our graph, our animation graph here, it is... is there an indefinite option? No, yes. I mean, look, it goes up, it goes down, it goes up, and it should continue right here and go up, right? Use a cubic for that point. Define cubic, because I have no cubic option. I technically have on this one cubics, and I'm using the auto. The last one's a cubic as well. Last one needs to be -1. Oh, I see what you're saying. Okay, I basically have the same keyframe. I gotcha. I see what you're saying. Yep, okay, that makes sense. No, I see exactly what you're saying there. I basically have the same value for the starting and the ending, and that's the problem. I think there's a way to... Yeah, here we go. I think there's a way to change this, if I remember correctly. Okay, let's see. Yep, okay, cool. So let's go back to, let's see, so we're looking at a value of -1 then, probably. Okay. Simulate it out. Yeah, see, I still have, doesn't it look like there's a little bit of a lag there at the end? I'm not crazy, right? Looks like there's a little bit of a hiccup. Yeah. Oh man, I'm not crazy. I know in the other graphs you have the ability to basically set the beginning and the ending to continually interpolate. Well, if the first and last points are linear, then we end up with a straight line instead of a curved line. Like that. So I'm going to end up with some, whoops. Yeah, so I'm still going to end up with a little bit of a hitch there. We have our these ones right here. Maybe that's what it is. Here, let's set this back to 0. Because I know in the other curve editors, you have the ability to... it'll basically cycle indefinitely for post and pre and post play. Yeah, they are not constant. We have auto on these. We don't have constant on these. Yeah, we are set to auto. We are set to auto key interpolation. Yep. And our post and pre are set to cycle. Oh, well, let's just change it to oscillate. I'm just going to randomly start clicking buttons here and see what happens. Yeah, still has an issue. Yeah, pre and post are cycle. See, I'm not the only crazy one here. Everyone else has got the exact same thought process as me on this one. No, pre and post are both set to cycle for my extrapolation. They're both set to auto for my key interpolation. If you twist the blue lines to be straight with the purple one, so if I made it like this, you mean? And you made it like this. That's unfortunately that's going to turn it to linear, but it's still got... Okay, so... No, see, there we go. No, the suggestion... Oh, can we do this? Does this work in real time? Or do I have to stop the simulation? Oh, that would have been cool if it worked in real time. No, this suggestion, it's basically, it's too much of a dramatic change. We have too much of a... Yeah, that's what it is. It's too much of a hiccup on the bottom part of the curve right here. Yeah, okay, so it's got to be linear. Nope, someone suggested that. Alucard suggested it. I would assume that if I set it how it was, it would be fine, but I guess there's just, when it's set to auto, there's too much of a what's the stupid word for it? A plateau. There's too much of a plateau when it's set to auto right there. Which, if we had this thing set to oscillate, like our cycle, if we had these set properly, which we do here, it should be fine. It works properly if you're actually inside the regular curve editor. Like if we did a curve. Wait, it's an actual curve, isn't it? Where's it at? Miscellaneous curve, and then we did like a float curve. Yeah, float curve would work. Because if we're in here, we do the same basic action. Like that. It's basically what we're looking for. Our, yeah, these ones generally work without a problem. I never have an issue. Whoops. Fit. Oh, it's because my friggin' thing. Whoa. Fit sure as hell didn't work. Oh, it's because I had something selected. Never mind. Yeah, if a normal curve will work properly. But I don't know why this one's not working. Anyways, it doesn't really matter. You guys were able to help me out on that one. I definitely appreciate it. We did get a... whoops. We did get something working. We ended up getting it to be... Whoa. Did it delete everything? Did we lose all the work we just did? Oh no. No. Huh. Oh, that's weird. You have to have it selected to have simulate work. Okay. Interesting. But we did end up getting something that looks a lot better. And you could think of this as kind of like a little hovering power-up. You know, like in some of the newer Super Mario games, it has the coin twisting as well at the same point. It kind of goes up and down and things like that. And we were able to do that. Okay, cool. So we were able to get an example done for the sequencer. So that was good. We were able to help out someone else, hopefully. 2 other people with stuff, hopefully. We definitely have some issues there with the tangents. I'll go ahead and report those. The NIC. I can't start my engine in Epic's launcher. Why? I don't know why. What do you mean by can't start it up? I have my launcher is working perfectly fine right now. And I can launch any of my versions because I was actually doing that a little bit ago, and they're working. Same with any of my projects. Does it give you an error, or is it projects that don't load up? Glitch. Can I please make head look player if I can? I can add that to my list glitch. I can guarantee you, though, it won't be anytime soon. I do not have the proper tools to make the animations work. We did kind of cover that one in the fact that you can just look. I'm sure there's a tutorial out there on it, but it's not very difficult. Your character, in terms of your animations and your blueprint, your character does have that skeleton. He does have that neck bone. And you can just simply rotate the neck bone as a look to. But I'll add it to my list to work on. That button, let's see. The button doesn't start your engine. Okay. Well, the other option then, if you're having issues with the launcher not starting it, go into wherever you have it installed. In my case, where is Epic? Here we go. In your settings. Really? Here, let's see. Nope. Maybe verify is about the only thing I can think of. But if you know where you installed your version of Unreal, you can go into it. In that case, mine's under Epic Games. You can go into your launcher version, so like engine version, 4.15, engine, binaries, pick the appropriate one. In my case, Windows 64. And if you scroll down, you'll find the UE4 editor right here. This editor, this is the shortcut you use to run it. And if this doesn't run, then the only thing I can suggest is to uninstall everything and reinstall it. It's going to be something specific to your computer. But the launcher is working right now. Okay. Other than that, I do have something I need to attend, and I hate to leave early, but I do have to leave early. We stream for a little bit over an hour. I appreciate everyone hanging out. My next stream will be on Monday. It'll be roughly 10 o'clock Pacific, so an hour before now, roughly the same time I started. We'll work more on the 415 stuff, plus any questions people might have. If you have any questions or anything like that, feel free to comment on Beam, Twitter, YouTube, Twitch. My email address is inside the YouTube under About, along with the blueprint list. That blueprint list is this giant monstrosity here. You can just leave a comment, and I can look at the comment and try to add something to my thing to work on. I'm more than happy to try to help out when I can, but remember I primarily only work on blueprints, so stuff like animations and, as you saw, materials, I can do my best guess and then just randomly throw crap on the screen and see what works. Other than that, I appreciate everyone chatting and hanging out and helping everyone. Everyone else, have a good rest of your day. I'm going to mute the stream for about 30 seconds so I don't just simply disappear.